The night was alive with lightning. Thunder roared like the wrath of forgotten gods, shaking the ancient walls of Nagdweep, the mysterious island hidden deep within the Indian Ocean. The sky cracked open as rain lashed against the golden domes of the Serpent Temple. Inside, 1,000 snakes slithered restlessly, their tongues flickering in unison, their bodies calling around ancient pillars carved with mantras that glowed faintly under the storm's fury. At the heart of this chaos, in a sanctum lit by the emerald glow of sacred fire, stood Dev Kaljai, the chief priest of the Nagas. His trembling hands lifted a crystal vial filled with glowing green liquid, the serpent serum, the divine essence of countless venomous species. Tonight, he whispered, a protector will rise from the venom of 1,000 snakes, a savior born from poison itself. The mother, Nagrani Sheetal, lay on a bed of coiled serpents, her face pale yet peaceful. As the vial was poured upon her chest, the serpents hissed louder, until a scream cut through the storm. The air shimmered. The torches went out. And there, upon the temple floor, bathed in moonlight and venom, cried a child, his eyes gleaming with emerald fire, his body marked with faint, golden scales. A miracle, whispered Dev Kaljai. He is not human, he is Nagraj. The snakes bowed around him. The storm calmed as if obeying the newborn's cry. And in that single night, the legend began, a legend that would one day walk between gods and men. Years passed. Nagdweep flourished under the guidance of King Takshakraj, the serpent monarch. Nagraj, the prince of the island, grew under the strict eyes of Dev Kaljai, trained in the art of stealth, combat, and venom control. Remember, child, Dev Kaljai would often say, your blood can kill, but it can also heal. You were born to protect life, not destroy it. Nagraj nodded, though deep inside, a fire burned. He had dreams he couldn't understand. Faces of humans he'd never seen, cities he'd never visited, and a strange feeling of being incomplete, as if his destiny waited beyond the sea. One evening, as he meditated by the waterfall, he saw a reflection behind him, the sharp face of Professor Nagmani, the royal scientist, smiling faintly. You've grown strong, my prince, the professor said. Perhaps too strong for this small island. There was something in his tone that chilled Nagraj. That night, the sound of war horns pierced the air. The island burned. Soldiers in black armor stormed through Nagdweep, mercenaries from the outer world. Nagraj leapt into battle, his arms bursting into serpents, his eyes glowing with fury. Venom spat through the air, melting steel, turning men into dust. But in the chaos, he saw the unthinkable, Professor Nagmani, standing beside the attackers. You! Nagraj roared. Nagmani laughed. You're a weapon, Nagraj. A weapon I created to conquer the world. The serum that gave you life, I made it. Lies? Or truth? Nagraj couldn't tell. As the temple crumbled, Dev Kaljai rushed to his side. Go, Nagraj. The world needs you. Leave Nagdweep. No. I can fight. You were not born for revenge, the priest said, his voice fading. You were born for redemption. The ground shook. The temple collapsed. A blast of green light swallowed everything. When the storm cleared, Nagdweep was gone, and Nagraj floated unconscious on a wooden plank, drifting toward the mainland. The Serpent King was no more. The Serpent Son's journey had just begun. When Nagraj opened his eyes, he was no longer surrounded by serpents but by people, noisy, curious, chaotic. The city of Mahangar roared with life. Cars honked, smoke filled the air, and neon lights glared like fake stars. He stumbled through the crowd, his body weak. Where am I? Hospital, said a calm voice. A woman stood before him, Professor Nagmani's rival, Professor Vishesh, a scientist who had long studied reptilian DNA. You were found near the docks. You're lucky to be alive. Nagraj looked around, disoriented. He felt something strange, fear. For the first time, he couldn't sense the thoughts of nearby snakes. The concrete jungle had none. You're not human, are you? Vishesh asked softly. I don't know what I am anymore, Nagraj whispered. In the days that followed, Nagraj learned to blend in. He wore normal clothes, walked among men, learned their ways. Yet every night, he saw visions, snakes hissing in his dreams, calling him back to his purpose. Soon, the city's underworld noticed him. He fought off thugs who tried to rob a child in an alley, effortlessly dodging bullets, his body shimmering with green light. People started whispering about the Snake Man. But one night, a familiar voice echoed through a radio transmission. Welcome back, my creation. Nagmani. Rage surged through Nagraj. You'll pay for what you did, he shouted. Nagmani's voice chuckled. You still don't understand. You were designed to obey. The venom in your veins is mine. When I command, you'll kneel. Nagraj felt his blood burn. His body twisted in pain. No! I am not your weapon. With a scream that shattered glass, he broke free, the snakes within him rebelling against the false master. From that day, he swore one thing. He would protect the innocent, destroy evil, and find the truth about his origin, even if it meant walking through fire. And thus, Mahangar's guardian was born. Nagraj became a legend in weeks. Criminals whispered his name in terror. News channels called him a myth. Children drew his symbol, a golden serpent, on their walls. But inside him, the war continued. Every time he used his powers, he felt a shadow stir. Something dark, ancient, lurking inside his blood. Then came Ajgar, a monstrous half-human serpent from Nagmani's lab. Your place is with us, Nagraj, he growled. You were never meant to protect these insects. They clashed atop the Mahangar tower. Lightning cracked across the sky. Nagraj's body burst into a storm of snakes, wrapping around Ajgar's neck. You serve death, Nagraj hissed. I serve life. Ajgar laughed, breaking free. Life? You are poison itself. He lunged, but Nagraj leapt from the tower, twisting midair, transforming into a serpent swarm that coiled back around his enemy, dragging him into the fire below. The explosion lit up the skyline. Later, as smoke rose, Nagraj knelt beside the ruins, trembling. How long before the poison in me wins? He whispered. A faint voice, the spirit of Dev Kaljai, echoed from within him. Your venom is your curse, but also your gift. Use it to heal, not hate. From that night, Nagraj learned to control his venom, to create antidotes, cure diseases, and save lives with the same power that once destroyed. The people began to trust him. But Nagmani wasn't done yet. In a hidden laboratory beneath the Himalayas, Nagmani stared at a massive containment tank filled with liquid emerald light. If he won't serve me, he sneered, then I'll create one who will. Inside the tank floated a figure, Nagnag, a clone of Nagraj, but infused with pure hatred. Months later, explosions rocked the city. Nagmani had unleashed his creation. Nagraj arrived, his heart pounding, his soul heavy. When he saw Nagnag, he froze. The face was his own. So this is your hero? Nagmani shouted. Watch him destroy himself. The two serpents collided. Their powers cracked the ground, shattered buildings, and lit the sky with green fire. Every punch was like thunder, every scream like a storm. You are me. Nagraj yelled. No, Nagnag growled, his eyes red with fury. I am what you fear, the serpent of vengeance. They fought till dawn. Blood mixed with venom. The city burned. At last, Nagraj whispered, "You're not my enemy, brother. You're my pain. My shadow." For a moment, Nagnag hesitated. The truth pierced his hatred. But Nagmani screamed, pressing a detonator. "If I can't have you, I'll destroy you both." The ground erupted. Flames rose high. In the heart of the explosion, Nagraj wrapped his serpents around Nagnag, shielding him. "Let the poison end with me." There was a blinding flash. Silence. When the smoke cleared, Nagmani was gone, and only one figure stood amid the ruins, Nagraj, his scales scorched, his body weak but alive. He looked at the horizon. "The war isn't over," he said softly. "It's only begun." Years passed. The world changed. Heroes rose and fell. But Nagraj remained, a myth who refused to die. He traveled from temples to jungles, from deserts to cities, battling demons, monsters, and men alike. Yet his greatest battle was within, between the god he could become and the beast he must never unleash. In Varanasi, he met a dying saint who said, "The serpent is the circle of life, Nagraj. It sheds its skin not to die, but to begin again." Those words stayed with him. One night, standing on the rooftop of Mahangar Tower, he looked down at the glittering city. "Maybe I was never meant to rule," he said. "Only to protect." Suddenly, a faint voice crackled in his communicator, "Nagraj. We've got chaos in downtown. Mutants attacking civilians." He smiled. Duty never ends. He leapt into the air, transforming into a storm of glowing serpents. The city lights reflected off his scales as he dove into the night. Below, people looked up, pointing. "Nagraj," they cried. "Our savior." And as the serpents coiled through the clouds, lightning flashed, illuminating the hero who carried the weight of venom, destiny, and hope. Nagraj was not just a man or a myth. He was the eternal guardian between chaos and creation, a serpent born of poison, yet destined to heal the world. And his journey, like the serpent's coil, would never end. If you like the story, then subscribe to the channel for more interesting stories.